A lot of artists keep adding pieces to their portfolio thinking that volume is the problem, but it's actually depth. My name is Vega, and I've been working in the industry for over 10 years as a professional environment senior concept artist. And this section here of this video is from our one-on-one mentorship that I usually run with some of the students. Now, here we're gonna break down how to do a project-based portfolio piece. And so this allows you to sort of plan a little bit on what the things that you're gonna have on your portfolio, but also it helps you know when making more work is actually holding you back. And so depending on the case on the portfolio, right, the status of the portfolio, sometimes the answer is to actually do more volume, but sometimes it's actually maybe to go back into some of the pieces that you have and actually create more depth and more quality within those ideas. Let's check it out. The way that I would do it, like I tell everybody, is to think of a project, and then you're gonna do a project-based portfolio pretty much, right? Like I wouldn't do just random, arbitrary pieces. I would think of a project, and you can say, okay, if I'm going to work for the next, 2-3 months on a project, right? I want to make sure that I have all types of pieces, right? So maybe we have like one or two that are sort of like fully composition, keyframe type of pieces, and then maybe we have some individual callouts, right? Maybe we have some architectural callouts, depending on what the idea is. Architectural callouts. Maybe we have some 3/4 views, some orthographics, all that sort of thing, right? So I want to make sure that in the project, whether I do 5 or 20 pieces, I want to make sure that I have all those different types of images in there to showcase that I can actually do those type of images, because those are skills that you want to have in production setting, right? And so when you look at this is a pretty good representation of that, right? So you have some callouts here for architecture. There's material callouts here in here as well for the characters and the architecture as well. You have some mood and lighting composition also. It sells the general feel of the space, right? You have all other locations. Same with this, right? You have some sketches, some compositional sketches, which are great to have. See the 3/4 aerial view to sort of see the layout of the space really easily. Some callouts, right? For some of the different locations, aerial views, paintings, layout design here. This is another call out for a layout design, right? Black and white doesn't need to have crazy, color and mood. It's just to showcase what the space is like. And so all these things, like you can really get your answer straight away by just looking at this here. And you're like, and now it's just a matter of let's decide first what the idea I'm going to be working on for my project. So the idea is, X, Y, and Z. That's the idea. A lost, kingdom on a jungle thing, whatever. It doesn't really matter. And so now once you decide that, then I'm like, okay, I'm going to spend, let's say 2 months, 3 months on this idea, and I want to make 8 pieces. And I want to make sure that before I even sometimes start those pieces, I want to have a general sense of what the pieces are going to be. So 2 keyframes, I want to do 3 architectural callouts and 1 layout design, black and white, and maybe an aerial view, right? Those are my pieces. And then I'll start sort of backtracking and reverse engineer from there in terms of putting all those pieces to fit whatever the idea is that you want to do. And that's just to give you a general idea. Like you can change things as you go, right? Because things will change, but it's always good to have a end goal in mind before you even start, just to kind of have some guidance into what you're going to do. Because if not, you can do it the other way where you don't even think about that stuff and you can just sort of go with emotions. But to me personally, that's more risky, because now you depend on what you're creating in order for you to guide you on what you're going to do fully. And so I always like to have some sort of plan before I even start. When you're working on portfolios, right, you're making all these pieces. Say these are all pieces, right? And this is a concept from business, right? Where sometimes you are at a point where it is not better to work your project horizontal, because it's better to work your project vertical. And what I mean by that is, instead of thinking that you are going to make your portfolio project better by making those or making more pieces, right? Going horizontal, making more pieces, right? A lot of times it's simply better and more efficient to get or to work on what you have and make them better, right? And so you're at a point where you're in this area where, do I make more pieces or do I really just focus on quality from what I already have? And an interior sounds like I think sounds like a great next step, because that's something that you don't have here, an interior shot. And so,
yeah, if I would do the interior, like, I didn't consider it it would be built with the pieces I already have. Like, I would have one more hero prop that's like new to that area, but then I would reuse what I have done. Like, I wouldn't.
Yeah. You for sure reuse a lot of the stuff that you made, right? But again, you want to have, I think you want to have variety in or a difference in variety from your interior to your exterior shots, because that really enhances the experience as a player, right? If I go to a place and I'm outside and I go inside and it looks the same, like, it's kind of boring, right? Like, the lighting changes and, the mood changes, the sound effects changes, everything in all senses changes, right? When you change locations like that. And so you want to bring that also with your piece, right? Like, if I look at them this far away, right? Like, these two look very similar, right? But if I had an interior shot, it should look completely different in a way, or I will at least try to do that. So you can actually use these strategies to build your portfolio and showcase that you can actually work at different stages of the production and actually show different types of skills. If you're interested in any of this, I run a one-on-one mentorship that I run with students that lasts 90 days, but I also do shorter, small group mentorship, and you can find all the information on our website or on the link below. If you have any comments, feel free, or questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I'll see you guys in the next one.